I leaving my fiancée after discovering she took $50,000 in my name. Hello, Reddit. I never thought I'd end up in a situation like this, let alone share it publicly. I believed trust in a relationship was sacred. But one day, I discovered something that shattered everything I believed in. My name is Jacob. I live in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and I work in finance. My fiancée, Emily, met me 5 years ago at university, and since then we've barely been apart. I thought we were the perfect couple, shared interests, common goals, the same sense of humor. I even proposed to her last summer and she said yes. Everything seemed perfect. But reality turned out to be far scarier. It all started with a strange notification from the bank. It looked official, with a seal and signature, demanding immediate payment on a loan. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I hadn't taken out any loans. I didn't need to. My job lets me live comfortably. I called the bank. The operator carefully checked my details, then said, "Mr. Jacobs, according to our records, a loan for $50,000 has been taken out in your name. Your fiancée, Emily, is the guarantor." I froze, my heart pounded, thoughts raced. How was this possible? Emily, my trusted, beloved Emily. I stepped out onto the street, passers-by blurred past, but all I saw was the notification on my phone, pulsing like a red light. $50,000. I couldn't breathe. When I got home, I looked at Emily. She was cooking dinner, smiling, talking about work, while I stood there pale, unable to speak. "What's wrong?" she asked. "We need to talk," I said dryly. I sat at the table and opened the notification on my phone. She noticed something was off. "Jacob, what happened?" she asked, trying to stay calm. "It's the banker. They say a $50,000 loan is in my name. You're the guarantor. Emily, what does this mean?" Her face went pale. She tried to smile, but I saw something in her eyes I'd never noticed before, fear and worry. I wanted, she started but couldn't finish. I interrupted. "Did you take out a loan without my knowledge?" Emily fell silent, staring at me. I felt the air in the room thicken, like it had been sucked out by a pump. I realized the trust we'd built over years was destroyed. "I thought we could pay it off together," she finally squeezed out. "You'd never approve such a large amount. I wanted to help us for our future." "For our future?" I asked, holding back a tremble in my voice. "We discussed joint purchases, vacations, a mortgage, but never this loan. You just did it behind my back." She started crying. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but I couldn't see them as justification. How can you trust someone who secretly saddles you with tens of thousands of dollars? The following days were hell. I checked accounts, loan histories, trying to uncover if there was more hidden. Every call to the bank revealed new details. Emily had paid the first installment from our joint account without warning. My mom, whom I involved in the discussion, only said, "Jacob, you need to decide quickly. This isn't a small amount." I realized it wasn't just about the money. Our life together was at stake. Everything we'd built was crumbling, all from one secret, a hidden $50,000 loan. Emily tried to explain. I thought it was for both of us, for our dream, but all I saw was betrayal. And there I was, facing a choice: end the relationship or try to salvage what was left. It was a night I'll never forget. We sat across from each other, the silence heavier than any storm. I looked at the person I loved and knew nothing would ever be the same. The days after learning about the loan turned into a nightmare. Every bank notification made me shiver. Every call made my heart race. Emily tried to talk to me, but I barely listened. All I saw was the $50,000 in my name, taken without consent. I decided to gather all the documents. The bank sent me the full loan history, including signatures. Everything looked official. There was Emily's signature, the guarantee, repayment terms. I sat on the couch with a stack of papers, flipping through pages with trembling hands. With every new figure, I understood we'd have to pay the debt together, or the consequences would be catastrophic. I called my parents. My mom immediately said, "Jacob, you need to talk to Emily and find out why she did it. But be careful, son. This isn't just a mistake, it's deceit." I knew I had to act fast. First, I called Emily. "We need to talk seriously," I said, steadying my voice. "I'm ready," she replied, as if she'd been waiting. We met in a small cafe near our home. I saw her trying to hold it together, but her eyes betrayed fear and guilt. "Jacob, she started, but I cut her off. Why did you take out the loan without me?" She sighed, lowered her head, and quietly said, "I thought it would be for us, for our future. We talked about buying an apartment in central Amsterdam, our travel plans, renovations. I just wanted to speed things up." "Speed things up," I almost shouted. "You didn't even think I might refuse, that I wouldn't like it, that I'd be against it. This is my credit history, Emily." She cried. I saw the tears, heard the sobs, but it was hard to feel sympathy. I felt betrayed, like the person I trusted most had pulled the rug out from under me. We sat in silence for a long time. I understood this was bigger than a financial issue. It was about trust, which had been shattered. The next day, I met with a lawyer to discuss options. "Jacob," he said, flipping through papers, "you have two paths. Either agree to pay the loan with Emily or contest it in court, proving she acted without your consent. But the second will be long, expensive, and destructive to your relationship." I realized no amount of money was worth ruining my life completely, but paying with someone who'd broken trust was impossible too. Emily tried to explain. "I love you, Jacob. I did it out of love." "Love?" I echoed. "Love doesn't make you a fraud. Love doesn't force a $50,000 debt on someone without consent." A wall grew between us. I saw regret in her eyes, but no longer felt the old closeness. Even when she tried to hug me, I pulled away. Soon I decided to tell friends. My university friends were shocked. My best friend Laura said, "Jacob, this is serious. You can't ignore the debt, but trust is already broken." I realized more than money was at stake. It was my values, security, future. I started doubting how we'd live on. Every night I woke in terror that Emily might have taken more hidden loans, that our accounts could freeze, that I'd lose everything I'd earned. A week later, I met her again. I wanted to see if we could find a way back. "Jacob," she started, "I can start repaying the debt myself. I'll take overtime, sell things, anything to keep us." I looked at her. Her eyes were full of determination, but I knew it didn't fix what happened. "Emily," I said slowly, "it's not just about money, it's about trust. I can't forget what you did." She cried again. In that moment, I felt a mix of anger and regret. I loved her, but couldn't ignore that she'd secretly made a decision changing my life. The following months tested us both. I demanded an investigation from the bank, trying to contest the loan. Meanwhile, we tried saving the relationship. Every talk turned to argument, every glance to suspicion. Our mutual friends noticed the tension. Some supported us, others were direct. "Jacob, if she can do this to you, she might again." I began realizing Emily's financial secret was just the tip of the iceberg. It was control and manipulation I'd overlooked. 3 months in, the strain became unbearable. Standing at the apartment door with the latest bank notices, I knew our love wasn't the same. I faced a tough choice: fight for the relationship, risking more deceit, or end it and save myself. That night, I made the decision that changed everything. The days after deciding to break up with Emily turned into a real emotional storm. We met in the same cafe where we'd tried talking before, but the atmosphere was different now. "Jacob, please don't leave," she started, but I knew it was the end. "Emily," I said calmly, keeping my voice steady, "I can't live like this. You broke trust and I see no way back." Her eyes filled with tears. She tried to grab my hand, but I gently pulled away. It was like severing a thread from an old life I'd once loved, now toxic. "We can fix everything," she said. "I'll pay the loan myself, we can go to therapy, anything." "Emily," I interrupted, "it's not just money, it's principle. Anyone who loves doesn't put $50,000 on their partner's name without consent. You destroyed our foundation." After the talk, I left, feeling relief and emptiness. We'd lived together years, built plans, dreamed, now ruined. The next weeks I focused on work and lawyer meetings. We gathered evidence to contest the loan. But the bank was firm. Documents were proper, signatures verified. I realized legally I might win part, but canceling fully was near impossible. Emily tried staying in touch. Messages, calls, visits to my home. Each time emotions stormed. One side wanted to see her, the other knew I couldn't trust. "Jacob," she said in a call, "I love you, I did it out of love." "There's no love in deceit, Emily," I replied coldly. "You thought you could control my life through money. I can't forgive that." Friends and family supported me. Laura came every few days, helped with papers, listened. "You did right, Jacob," she said once. "If someone treats you like that, it's not love, it's manipulation." Meanwhile, I planned my future. Rented a small apartment in another Amsterdam district, moving from our shared home. Waking alone each morning brought relief mixed with pain. Emily tried restoring her credit, took side jobs, cut expenses to repay, but no action erased my resentment. A month post-breakup, bank letter, interest hiked, late fees added. It weighed on me. Daily, I thought how she could do this, how it changed me. I started seeing a psychologist. Talks helped realize trust is any relationship's base, and its destruction often irreparable. One day, sorting old photos, I found our Paris trip shots. Remembered laughing, sharing dreams, planning. Then I knew no love is worth constant anxiety and fear. Emily messaged, invited to meet, discuss, but I saw it as manipulation. I couldn't be her tool anymore. Ultimately, 6 months post-breakup, we finalized separating lives and moved apart. The loan still hung on me, but I managed paying gradually, without her help. This story left a deep mark. Taught me to value trust, that financial independence and respect for boundaries are essential in relationships. I still think about it sometimes, without bitterness. Pain was there but became a lesson. Never ignore signs of toxic relationships. Never compromise principles for others' desires. Though Emily and I are no more, I know I chose right. I saved myself, my life, my integrity. A few weeks after fully moving apart from Emily, I felt relief but emptiness. The home we'd shared now felt foreign, filled only with memories. Meanwhile, chaos hit her life. News of the loan in my name reached her parents and friends. Reactions were intense. Her mother called my phone, trying to figure who's right, wrong, how to fix. "Jacob," she said shakily, "we can't believe Emily did this. We always thought she was honest." I replied restrained. "It's not my fault. What happened was her choice." Emily's family tried reconciling us, urging another chance, but I knew words couldn't restore trust. Emily tried winning me back, sending messages, begging to meet. Each stirred anger, resentment, and regret. She wrote how she'd changed, understood mistakes. I met Laura to discuss. "Laura, I know she's remorseful, but..." I started. "Jacob," she cut in, "it's not remorse, it's manipulation. She tried controlling you, don't give her another shot." Meanwhile, bank notice, interest growing, late fees piling. Finances strained, I had to fight breakup fallout and bureaucracy. I corresponded with Emily's lawyers and bank. Proved loan without consent, her awareness of consequences. Exhausting. Calls, meetings, docs, signatures, but small wins gave control. Jacob's friends and Emily's family got involved. Some backed me, others defended her. Tension among mutual acquaintances who'd once celebrated us. Met Thomas, colleague and Emily's close friend. Jacob, he said carefully, I get it's hard, but think if this conflict ruins your life. I nodded. I know, Thomas, but if I don't defend myself and boundaries, who will? Emily tried public justification. Social media posts blaming circumstances, stress, work, but no one saw love or remorse, just shifting blame. Friends supported morally. Laura often said, You did everything right, Jacob. Your life is your responsibility. No one can use you for their goals. Months post-breakup, Emily proposed settling loan peacefully, pay part to not ruin relations fully. I met and said, Emily, I appreciate, but it's not money anymore. We lost trust. I can't be in your life. She truly cried then. I saw it was her first lesson, consequences real. My life normalized, moved, focused on career, finances, growth. Loan lingered, but I handled alone. Over a year post-breakup, Emily lived on, built career, relations, but breakup marked her. She couldn't manipulate like before. I learned to value principles. Trust and honesty-based relationships. Controlling via money or emotions never leads to true love. Final moral harsh but clear. Sometimes love isn't compromising for another but protecting self and boundaries. Lost relationships wound, but teach valuing freedom, honesty, independence. Almost a year since fully ending with Emily. Tough year. Legal battles, credit recovery, growth, emotional reevaluation. No longer the guy letting manipulation. One late evening in a small Vienna cafe, enjoying rare peace. Door creaked, woman entered who changed my life. Emily. Looked different, calmer, tired face, eyes with real pain, regret. We saw each other, air thick with silence. Patrons unnoticed, two once lovers reuniting. Jacob, she said quietly, I was silent. Words failed. A year ago I'd try understand, forgive, reopen heart. Now different, stronger, independent, learned self-protection. Emily, I said evenly, I didn't come to discuss past. It's over. She looked down, didn't leave. Hands trembled as she sat nearby. I came to say I understand. What I did was awful, broke your trust, used you for what? I don't even know. I listened, emotions mixed, anger, pain, pity. One thought clear, won't let her in again. Emily, I said calmly, your words are late. I chose. I live my life, you yours, can't go back. Tears filled her eyes. First time seeing true vulnerability, sincere regret. Not acting, reality she paid for. We sat minutes in silence, eyes locked. Moment key, bridges burned, lessons learned. Thanks for coming, she whispered, though too late. Yes, I replied. Sometimes too late is best for realization. We left cafe opposite ways. Cold evening wind swept leaves on pavement. I felt relief, freedom. Emily in memories, no longer my life. Weeks after, closed bank matters, restored credit, pondered new relations. No fear of use or manipulation. Learned value self, boundaries, principles. Emily left with lesson. Manipulation, deceit never bring lasting happiness. She lived on, built career, maybe restored trust in time. But I knew, my life mine, past mistakes can't destroy. Final thought. Sometimes love not compromising for another but respecting self and principles. Lost relationships scar, teach honest living, valuing freedom, fearless self-defense. Though heart remembers, mind calm. What had to happen did, now time move forward.